Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of our Critical Analysis Let's Play, and we are back in this industrial city from last episode where we noticed that we had a serious pathfinding issue where Sims living up on the hill here were not finding their way down to jobs in this industrial area, and we have all these industrial buildings down here that are just closed, need workers. They're just never getting filled up, despite having high unemployment in the city. Sims are just, due to the pathfinding quirks, never finding their way down to these jobs. So as we discussed last time, we're going to try an experiment to adjust this. So what we noticed last time is the Sims were, because they do this pathfinding to the first available job, I should say the nearest available job, or when leaving work to the nearest available residential building, rather than having their own job or their own house. Sims were all going from their homes directly to these commercial buildings, and all those jobs are filling up and never getting down here. And another issue is that we have a lot of abandoned stuff due to out of money, and I think that's because these jobs down here aren't filled, because we have that unemployment. So our experiment for today is to de-zone all of this commercial stuff and deprive the Sims of these commercial jobs and see if we can drive them down here. Now, as we said last time, this is a really unfortunate design element. You know, the fact that you have to figure out what the game, you know, how the AI works, the intricacies of the AI, and trick them into doing what you want. I think that's a failure of a game like this. Now, it's not necessarily a failure of all games. Some games, I think, are appropriate to be that way, you know. Say a puzzle game. You know, the joy of a puzzle game is figuring out the puzzles, right? It's let's see, I don't want to try to. Oops. The joy of a puzzle game is kind of figuring out how the puzzle system works, and then using that to your advantage. However, a game like SimCity, it's meant to be a simulator, and all it seems to be simulating for me at the moment is frustration. I don't feel like that in SimCity, the game itself, the rules of the game should be my opponent. The rules of the game should be helping me play. And being a simulator, the rules of the game should be at some level intuitive, right? It's meant to simulate reality. And let's see, we also wanted to de-zone this little area here and demolish that. Okay, so I believe I've gotten rid of all of... I'm sorry, is gotten a word? I don't think it is. Let's just check our commercial. Okay, no commercial anywhere except right here. What is this stuff? Yeah, we have 2 commercial buildings still there. So let's blow those up. Okay, so our commercial is totally gone. So I'm gonna bring this back to our population view. And actually, it's 2 p.m., so let's speed this up a little bit, and while we're waiting, I'm going to take some of this demolished stuff. We did have an earthquake in the previous episode, so I think some of this rubble, it's fires. Maybe the earthquake causes fires. I don't know, maybe my city's just burning down because it's a terrible city. That is certainly a possibility. These for sale abandoned buildings, I still really don't know if that's something I should be demolishing or letting sit until they decide to sell. But okay, so I've cleaned most of that up now, and this. I'll blow that one up lower. Right. Okay. And we did look at this also last episode. You can see we do have unemployed people. Now this is showing we actually have 0 unfilled low wealth jobs. Now this may change as we actually start filling up some of these. We'll see. So let's speed this up. Let's go back to our population map. And these must have multiple shifts. But as you can see, there's very few workers over in this little sort of hidden area because this path to get there is very long, circuitous, and non-obvious to the hive mind sims. But this is looking better. We're having more of these that are actually filling up. We do have, it looks like a bunch of commuters. Let's, still 7 p.m. Let's check on our commuters. 0 commuting in. That does not appear to be true. We had a bunch of teal vehicles coming in along the road there, so I don't know. We have a bunch of shoppers down here. Why are there shoppers down here? There is no commercial down here at all. In fact, there is no commercial in our entire city. Maybe that's why they're down here. They're just wandering aimlessly. That's possible. But we want to see what happens at, I think it's about 5 a.m. shift change. People start heading to work. And we want to see if they will actually make it down here. But our unemployment should be quite high now. 404. Since we got rid of all that commercial. We have 0 commercial, lots of unsatisfied shoppers. That's fine for the moment. These buses are just... Buses are kind of a mystery to me. You know, I put buses all over the place to try and see if we could get people down to these jobs. They still weren't having it. The buses were not getting them down here to these jobs either. Despite, you know, having bus stops down in these areas. Just wasn't working. Now, we have a lot of people. Let's slow this down. It's midnight. These people are heading home. So this bus system is causing some big problems too. What it appears is happening. Where are these people heading home? Do they have a 3 to 11 shift maybe, and they're trying to head home? It appears that a lot of these people are getting on a bus, driving aimlessly around the bus, and getting off the bus again, and then clumping up, getting on a bus, getting off the bus, getting on the bus, getting off the bus, and not making any sense. So let's follow this bus. Let's see where it goes and where it actually drops people off. So it dropped everybody off here. Why is it dropping people off at 1 in the morning in this industrial zone? And where are these people going? They're trying to go home. So they all got on the bus. They drove around the block. They got off the bus, and none of them end up on the hill going home. So this is just very frustrating because it does not make any sense. You know, here's this clump here. Let's see if this bus comes back around and picks them all up. Or are they actually disappearing into one of these jobs? It's kind of hard to tell. No, these people all must have just got off the bus. See, this is very, very maddening. This hive mind sim thing, it breaks the game down. The whole thing grinds to a halt because you can't predict what the sims are gonna do, and your city design is just nonsensical to the sims then. You know, this is a fairly straightforward city. This is not really complicated, convoluted, but so we just still have these clumps of workers that are just wandering around down here all night long. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm kind of ranting here. Let's speed things up a little bit, try and get closer to our rush hour, morning rush. Here people, but again, just got off the bus, I think. They're just getting on off buses all night long. Big clumps. And nobody's wandering around up here. Everybody's wandering around down here. Now, these blue ones, I think, you know, because we got rid of all our commercial, maybe they're just wandering looking for commercial. That's possible, I suppose. Alright, we're coming up on 5 a.m. So we want to see all these green are people who are at home. So these green things should drop and the workers should all come down here now. So we should see that. It's 5 in the morning and they don't appear to be. Okay, their things are changing. Let's slow this down a little bit. Now, wait, where are these people going? They're going home. That's night shift leaving. We've got lots of workers up here. Lots of people going home. So I'm guessing maybe the next shift starts at 7. Slow this down. Where are these people going? Couldn't find work out of town. So these people are going to work. Alright, now let's see if these will fill up here. Yeah, this does not look like it's actually working very well, does it? Still, they're not finding the industrial. Our students are mostly getting to school. That's good. We still have a lot of people just sitting at home. Despite having unfilled jobs, a whole bunch of unfilled jobs. Unemployed. But look, needs workers, needs workers. Needs workers, needs workers. Why aren't these Sims finding these places? I mean, shouldn't these fill up and then the Sims continue along? I mean, like this one. Well, that's abandoned. It's these abandoned ones. But like this one, say, closed, needs workers. There's tons of workers all wandering around here, and hardly anybody's going in. This is just baffling to me. So our experiment of getting rid of all the commercial up on top here does not appear to have had the desired effect. It doesn't appear to be fixing these places that need workers. So now I'm really baffled. I was pretty sure that getting rid of that commercial up at the top was going to fix our problem. And it did not at all. So I guess I'm really at a loss now as to what's going on here. See, look at all these workers. And they're not going into any place. You know, this is closed because it's only got one worker. And all these people are just wandering around. Where are they going? Okay, next experiment. Before our next shift in the morning, we are going to take out our bus system. So let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's turn on the bus map. And can I just turn off the buses? Maybe if I leave the bus stops but turn off the shuttle bus. Oops. Turn off the shuttle bus. Turn off the park and ride. I think I have another park and ride up here. Turn off this park and ride. Park and rides apparently fill up more if they're in the industrial area also, which makes no sense to me. I thought I had another park and ride somewhere, but maybe not. I may have bulldozed that off camera previously. okay, I think that's it. So our buses now should be gone. So let's go back to our bus map. We turned off our buses. Let's speed things up. Are our buses going to actually disappear now and go away? Our buses appear to be not disappearing, despite having turned off the buses. Shuttle bus depot. It's right here, right? It's closed. So why? I am very confused. Could be that it just takes a day to reset, get all these buses out of the city, maybe? And our whole bus system is shut down, right? If we go into our budget, transportation, 480. That's probably the stops themselves. What if I come down here and try and... This is going to be kind of tedious if I have to do it this way. You know, this I really have to say is poor. Here we go. Poor game design when you have to get to this level of detail and just trying to decode the game's behavior. You know, at some level that's kind of fun, but for this kind of game, really, what I really want to do is build a city. I don't want to be micromanaging my idiotic hive mind sims to try and convince them or, you know, sort of trick them into finding jobs. And oh dear, did I just blow up I did just blow up a road. Let me go fix that. Alright, so I think we're agreed this is kind of poor design. Which is really unfortunate. So I got rid of a bunch of those buses. The buses are still all driving around, despite having turned off the bus system. Well, I've turned them all off over there. They're still just driving all like mad. Oops. Now, are these regional buses? Municipal bus. Is a municipal bus a regional bus? I really don't know. A municipal bus would suggest to me that it's an in the city bus. We also have shuttle bus. Ah, these things are so maddeningly confusing. Bus terminal. Municipal and regional buses. So a municipal bus must be just in my city. So all of these are still driving around despite having turned off the... Okay, I'm just repeating myself and being sort of frustrated and aggravated. I apologize. This does not make good good viewer content, I'm sure. But let's come back to our population view here. And up on the hill here, we still have lots of students at home, obviously, because it's the middle of the night. And these green here are people at home as well. Looks like there's quite a few people at home, although some of these buildings apparently only have students and nobody's living at home. No workers. Now here we... Again, just piles and piles of workers trying to go home at 3:43 in the morning. It's really a total mystery to me. I'm kind of at a loss here. I don't even know what to say about this because it's so confusing. If anybody watches this and has any light they can shed on this situation, please feel free to comment or point me to some other videos, but this is just mind-boggling. These Sims never seem to be able to actually make it up or down the hill. I mean, these Sims are just sort of stuck in these loops down in this bottom area, round and round and round. Now there are a bunch of cars went up the hill. Okay, so they must have been going home. Now what about these guys? Commuting out of town for work. Commuting. And these people are still trying to go home. You know, they have simoleons. They may not go home until they've spent their money that they've earned from the day. So that could certainly be a factor. Man, I just don't know how we can... I mean, what if we put a few shops just along here? That shouldn't be enough to mess up our jobs, but maybe it's enough to get the Sims who have money to quit go and spend it. Maybe that'll drive them back from here up and into the city. We'll see, I guess, as soon as those stores open up. But notice we have no commercial in the city whatsoever and zero demand. So these indicators also are very unhelpful. They're not really telling us, they don't appear to be telling us anything useful. Alright, so these are open. They're hiring. No shoppers. Because all my shoppers are down here in the industrial zone. Okay, we have some workers. Now let's see if we can get these shoppers. These people who are trying to go home have simoleons heading home, but they don't get home and they don't spend their money, so... And there's just no shoppers up here. Okay, there's a few shoppers, but they came from up here in the residential district. What about these shoppers that are all down here? Are they ever going to make it up the hill? I mean, is this path just really that confusing? I mean, this feels like it should not be a problem. And our buses are still driving around like mad, even though we tried to turn them off. Still no shoppers. These shoppers are not making it up there. Alright, well guys, so 2 experiments failed. We got rid of our commercial up on the hill. It did not really improve our employment situation down in our industrial zone, so that was a failed experiment. We tried to get rid of some of our buses, turn off the buses. That's also a failed experiment. Number 1, the buses did not go away when we shut them off. And number 2, they just continue to circulate down in that bottom area. And number 3, we tried adding a small commercial zone right here to see if we could entice these shoppers back up onto the hill so they would get back home instead of just running around in these clods going around in circles in our industrial zone. So 3 failed experiments. I have absolutely no idea why they're doing this or what's going on, so we will I guess have to think this through a little bit and come back with a few more experiments. So indeed, worst mayor ever. That definitely describes the city. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Confusion and Frustration. If you did, hit that like button. Please leave me some comments, criticisms, suggestions would be most helpful. And please check out the rest of the content on my channel. I do, in addition to gaming videos, some other interesting stuff as well. And if you find stuff there that you like, please subscribe. That would be wonderful. And in any case, I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you next time.